Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the nocturnal planet Mars. Mars is really your basic animal instinct. It is one of the nocturnal planets, which means that you can't readily understand it logically. It is one of those planets that you can really truly connect with only on an emotional, visceral level. It is the unconscious part of your ego, whereas the sun is the more logical, conscious part of your ego that you can kind of access and be like, oh yeah, like I can logically understand that that is a part of me that I want to project to the world. Mars is the part that you might not be so readily able to connect with intellectually. You can only connect with it if you feel it. If I talk to you about your feelings and how you feel whenever you're angry or whenever somebody like turns you on, that is your Mars. Mars is also that instinct and that drive that propels you forward and kind of allows you to go after the things that you want. So the things that your sun wants and your moon wants, Mars is the one that kind of gets you there. How is it that you're going to be able to get those things that you want? Well, Mars is the one that's going to tell you how it is that you're going to be able to get those things. So first I'm going to give you some characteristics, then I'm going to talk to you about what really ticks off your Mars, like the things that make you angry. Then I'm going to talk to you about the things that kind of turn on that specific Mars. And lastly, just some general turn offs. So if you like somebody who has a specific Mars, this will be useful so that you can, make sure that you're not doing those things that are going to turn them off. Okay, so now we got to Mars and Sagittarius. Mars and Sagittarius. Sagittarius is mutable fire energy. So fire is already very movable, and then this one's mutable, so it means that it's more movable. So it's kind of like a diffuse fire. It's a fire that is not very direct. So Mars and Sagittarius has a difficulty with focus, okay? So they're not the most focused of the Mars placements, but they do have a lot of perspective, because remember that Sagittarius really likes to see the big picture of things, which really can help. Remember that Mars is that drive that kind of tries to get you the things that you want. So when you have Mars and Sagittarius, then the goal and the basic drive for a Mars and Sagittarius person is to know the truth. They really are driven by knowing the truth. And the way that they're going to get to that truth is really by experiencing everything there is in life to experience. All the things that they are curious about, all the things that their Mercury thinks about, that their sun really wants to achieve. Mars and Sagittarius is really going to drive the person to experience those things completely so that they can really know and be very wise in those areas of life, because they really feel that unless I experience something, I don't truly know it. And they are really people that really want to know things. Remember that Mars is really that warrior archetype that is just meant to act. They're supposed to be kind of like mercenaries. You just send them somewhere, they don't ask you questions, they just go, they show up, and they do what needs to be done and they get out. That is the archetype of Mars. But Sagittarius really wants to know why. They want to know, why am I doing this? Is this really the best course of action? What's going to be the outcome? What are the repercussions of what I'm going to do? That is all the thought process that goes through a Sagittarius's mind, through a Mars and Sagittarius's mind, before they take action. So that's not necessarily the best thing, that they're going through all of the thinking processes, but it's not the worst thing. Is it really bad to look at the big picture? I don't really think it is, but I am a Sagittarius. They're the kind of person that are like, don't talk about it, be about it. They be about it. They really live their truths. This Mars can have a tendency to be a little bit preachy, because they go through such lengths to really experience the things that they're curious about. So once they really experience it and live it so much, they're pretty much experts, and then they can just get on their soapboxes and be like, well, no, this is it. This is what you have to do, and there's nothing else. I have a friend who has this Mars placement, and I absolutely love going to her for advice. And I'm a Sagittarius, so she's the person that I trust for advice fully, because I know that anything that she recommends me, she's already done it. Like, she's read about it a lot, but not only that, she's also like lived it. So whenever she says something, I don't even have to Google it, because they've already lived it. They're really good advice givers. So because of this, they have very strong convictions, because as I've said, they already have this experience. So you really can't tell them anything. They're just like, I already lived it, like, what are you gonna tell me? So what ticks them off? What upsets a Mars and Sagittarius person is closed-mindedness. They don't like people who are closed-minded and really don't have the experience to justify their opinions. They really don't like that. They also really are annoyed by people who preach a lot but don't live those philosophies, because as I've said, they do live those philosophies, so they're just really annoyed when somebody's just like, oh yeah, practice what you preach, buddy. Like, they really are those people that are just like, lead by example. They want to lead by example, and they're annoyed by people who don't, who just do a lot of talking. They also really hate being treated like they're dumb. So if you like a Mars and Sagittarius, what turns them on? What do they like? They really like people who are smart. They really like people who are intelligent, wise. Think of that philosopher archetype. That's what they're driven to. That's what, gets them going. They really like people who want to experience things just as much as they do. They really like people who they can experience things with, who they can go and explore the world with and get more of those experiences that give them all of that knowledge that make them so wise. Those are the people that they're attracted to. So they also really just like trying new things, not just new activities, but they also really like exploring other philosophies that they're not aware of. They like discovering new philosophies and really getting into them. New ways of thinking, new ways of doing things, anything that is going to expand their mind and their consciousness, they're going to be turned on by that. So lastly, what turns them off? What do they not like in a partner? They don't like closed-mindedness, and they don't like people who are just overly cautious. Overly Saturnian people who are always just like, oh well, that's not legal, or the rule says we can't do that. They're just like, can you let me? That's the Mars and Sagittarius spirit. So that's the video for today, guys. If you liked it, make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to my channel. I put out astrology videos every single week, and I will see you in the next one.